Hello and welcome to Sri Raj IS. My name is Shashank Roy, and we are here with a new topic but not related to Iran USA conflict. This is related to economy, and this is related to the after effect of West Asia conflict. So, if you can see the thumbnail, inflation will spike, and this inflation will spike because of oil and El Nino shock. So, what do you know about El Nino? What is this climatic phenomena? How El Nino impacts India negatively or positively? What if this El Nino is coming at a time when inflation is already spiking because of oil related problems? Right? So, India is going to face a two front tragedy. The first one is coming from the oil shock, and the second one is coming from the climate shock. So, let's talk about this article. So, UPSC syllabus, this has been taken from the Indian Express, War in West Asia, Graphs, Data and Perspective, written by Udit Mishra. He's a very nice person, I mean, very knowledgeable person. He's a scholar, he's an economist, and he writes detailed articles. So, this has been taken from the Indian Express, which says that between oil shock and El Nino, how high inflation could go. So, let's start understanding this topic with diagrams. So, West Asian conflict, West Asian conflict is leading to oil shock, and this oil shock is spiking the price of oil. And because of this price of oil shock, right, this shock of price hike, what is happening, it is impacting our industrial activities, industrial activities, right? Fuel is needed for transport. Now the transport will become costlier. Now fuel is also needed for logistics, transportation. The cost will go higher, and it will end up costing consumer more. It will end up costing consumer more, and especially those consumer will be hit harder who are already marginalized. So just imagine those 80 crore people who are covered by National Food Security Act, right? Imagine that they have got Ujjwala cylinder as well, the cylinder under Ujjwala scheme, Ujjwala scheme, but they do not have capacity to get that cylinder refilled. So this entire war and this oil shock will lead to further marginalization of those people who are already marginalized. Why? Because it will increase the price of every thali. So this is one aspect, how the oil shock will impact Indian economy. Now there is another shock, that is climate shock. That is climate shock. This is climate shock. India is primarily an agriculture, not primarily, but still we have substantial population of people, 45 to 50% of labor force in India's unorganized sector labor force works in agriculture sector, which contributes 16%, 16 to 18% to the GDP. So we have substantial number of people, 45 to 50% people are involved in agriculture, which is contributing 16 to 18% to the GDP. Now, Indian agriculture is peculiar because Indian agriculture is primarily monsoon based. How monsoon based? Do you remember the southwest monsoon? Southwest monsoon. What happens in southwest monsoon? Southwest monsoon, the ocean get warmer, right? What happens? The ocean get, warmer. The warming of ocean will lead to what? It will lead to evaporation. Evaporation will lead to, right, evaporation. Ocean gets warmer. The warmer ocean leads to evaporation. Evaporation leads to condensation. and condensation leads to rainfall. It leads to rainfall, right? And then you sing the song tip tip barsa pani और पानी ने आग लगाई. Tip tip barsa pani, right? So southwest monsoon comes to India like this. There are two branches of southwest monsoon. What are those branches? One reaches to Western Ghats, right? And the second one gets diverted with the nose of Tamil Nadu to here. It reaches Meghalaya's Garo Khasi Jaintia, which has a saucer shaped structure, and here from here they cross the entire North India plain and they reach in the foothills of Himalaya, right? So this is how the southwest monsoon works, and this is what the rainfall pattern is all about. Now, how El Nino impacts the entire weather phenomena. El Nino will abrupt the weather pattern. It will lead to the lesser amount of rainfall, now when, give me a second, it will lead to lesser amount of rainfall. Now what will happen when the rainfall is less? What will happen? It will lead to less productivity. Productivity means less crops. It will lead to less productivity. Now when the productivity is less, what will happen? It will lead to price rise, and it will lead to inflation, right? बच्चे लोग, is it clear? If the rainfall is less, productivity will get lower. When productivity will get lower, crop will be lesser. When the crop is less, the price will rise, and when price will rise, it will lead to inflation, and inflation will hit harder to the poor and marginalized. Now, so the summary of this article is, India is going to face two front challenge. The first one is oil shock, and the second one is climate shock. Now let's see what will be the step taken by RBI to tame inflation between a range of 2 to 6%. 4% is the comfortable range of inflation for RBI. बच्चे लोग समझ में आया? India should get ready for oil shock and climate shock, and it will also pose a challenge to RBI to how to tame the inflation, because it is expected that inflation might reach up to 6%. 4% inflation is a comfortable range, manageable. So let's move on to the slides now. The GS paper 3 says inflation, causes and control, energy security and oil price shock, economy supply side shock. In GS paper 2, international relations, West Asia conflict and its impact on Indian economy, impact of global events on India. In essay, there may be a question related to external shocks and domestic stability, and climate change plus conflict is leading to economic crisis. So this is a unique example, unique article, or unique chapter wherein you will understand two front crisis. Now India is facing two simultaneous external shocks. The first one is oil shock, the second one is climate shock, and these two shocks together are leading to inflation, growth related challenge and monetary policy of RBI. Now we all know how the oil shock is impacting India. Oil shock, high crude prices will lead to higher fuel cost. It will lead to higher transportation cost and higher food prices, and higher production cost will lead to overall inflation. So this is it. Now what will happen with El Nino? El Nino will lead to higher temperature and weaker monsoon, because of which there will be poor rainfall and lower crop output, and lower supply will lead to higher food prices, and it will impact pulses, vegetables and cereals, and India is deficient in pulses. India is import dependent in pulses. That's why this El Nino will have a major effect on agriculture productivity. Now combined effect, oil plus El Nino will lead to double inflation push for India if inflation move beyond RBI's comfort zone, which is 4%. So it will be a difficult problem. It will be problem. And RBI and policy response. RBI's target is 4% inflation. The comfort zone is between 2 to 6%. If inflation rises, RBI increases interest rate. And what will happen then? If the interest rate will go higher, rate will hike. Rate will lead to costly loans, and costly loans will lead to slower growth. Now, if you look at global context, why it matters? Because US Iran tension has led to oil volatility in the market across the world. Global markets react instantly. If war escalates, price rise will high further. India will be badly impacted because India imports 88% of its oil needs from the world. Now, India's strategic response, what India is going to do with that? India is going to diversify its energy sources, build a strategic oil reserve, strengthen food supply chain, and improve irrigation facilities as well. So, India has to pay attention to energy security, food security, and inflation control. For a long term, India should go for reduce oil dependency. So, what are the final takeaway? The final takeaway is India's inflation is no longer just domestic, it is shaped by geo conflicts and climate pattern. So, this is it in this article. We will get back to you with a new topic. Tab tak ke liye, thank you so much. Wish you a wonderful day ahead. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. If you want me to share this PDF, please मुझे बताइएगा. I'll share it in Google Drive and send you the link. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.